everybody.
Thank you. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a prolific passer in his days at Baylor. It's Bryce Petty.
One thing Bryce Petty knows, and that's patience. Coming out of high school, ended up having a gray shirt when he first got to Baylor. Then he had to sit behind two other quarterbacks while they got their opportunity before he finally hit the field. In fact, he had graduated from Baylor as an undergrad before he took his first snap as a starter for the Bears.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Well, that play was doomed right from the start.
They just about ran into every defender on that one, didn't he? It felt like everyone got a piece of that tackle.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. They'll keep it on the ground. Turner, and he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats, but really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Though certainly not the start they were looking for here as they come up on a 3rd and 14.
Let's go!
From the gun, Hackenberg. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. This will be fielded at the 17. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Play action. It's Wilson. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You run against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Finding room inside the 40. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Simply not much more you can ask out of your running back. Over 100 yards and the 3 touchdowns.
And for an old coot like me, I loved it because he did it on the ground. A running back taking control of the game. That's what I like to see.
Hold on. An old coot?
Coot, C-O-O-T.
All right, I'll look that up later. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on second down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on second and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass him with a running play. You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And New York set to take the field. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Second down now after the incompletion. To throw is Hackenberg. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. He got 29 yards that time.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
On first down, Turner. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. They'll keep it on the ground. Turner, and he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he fires one, but incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
And this one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed. He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football. Yeah,
he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Second and 10. It's Wilson again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
On third down, Wilson. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. Pass incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On third down, Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Pulled in at the 24. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone.
Let's go! 3-19!
On 2nd down, here's Hackenberg. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guy's playing it, are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
Here we go now. 3-19.
Third and short yardage. Hackenberg. And incomplete. A disappointing drop there defensively by the rookie. And now fourth down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And this one is incomplete.
Okay, let's decide here. He was open, right? Not extraordinarily open, but open enough that if you're an NFL quarterback, you got to make that throw, right? Yeah. That's got to be complete.
9 times out of 10, that's a completed pass.
Yeah, he missed that one and missed it in a big way.
To throw on 3rd down, Wilson. And he's got some space here. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So we've reached the end of a fairly even first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. And we will return to MetLife Stadium after this. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. And now here's a carry heading left. Had the nifty footwork, but only able to get it to his own 20. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's John Ryan now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's pulled in at the 32. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. New York set to take the field.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
Hackenberg on second down. And avoids the contact by sliding. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that's going to lead to a third down.
The Jets on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Now Hackenberg. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
First down, Hackenberg. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll run on first down. Turner. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. From the left hash, this from 34. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. And we were scoreless up until this point in the second quarter. Now we finally have a little action.
Let's see where this action takes us. First quarter, no points at all. Now we've got our first score of the game. Well, does that signal that we're going to get more as we go along? Or will it revert back to what we saw in the beginning of the game?
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field.
So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Now Wilson on second down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Now a handoff here to his running back. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Wilson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. A handoff as they run the counter play. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have the highlights of this first half, but he won't have touchdowns because we haven't had any to this point.
But there's still time, though, partner.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Amara Darboh, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Wilson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First down and 10 now for the offensive group.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play.
Let's go. Blue landed.
They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 3.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
Can't fault the offensive line for that incompletion at all. He had all day to throw the football. Their alarm clocks went off early today, didn't they?
Absolutely they did. He was surveying, finally let it go, but incomplete.
Here we go now. Blue landed.
On second down now, Turner, and he'll get this down only to about the 46. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. Both the Jets and the Seahawks are having some trouble moving the ball through the air. The yardage totals are low, and that's helped play into what was a low-scoring first half. All right, let's get it going. Let's roll those first half highlights. Midway through the first quarter, Hackenberg's on point with the throw, and he'll be tackled at their own 39-yard line. Now 2nd and 8. Defense is going to come away with the sack. This will go for a loss of 8. Jets with the ball early in the second. Completion is made across the middle of the field, and he'll end up at the 35-yard line before being tackled. Now to late in the second. Jones is able to zero in on the QB here. This goes for a loss of 4. So that's it for us. We'll go back now to East Rutherford for the start of the second half.
Okay, Larry, thank you. Just a lone field goal in that first half. Will the offenses show up? That's now the question. Oh, and now he bowls him over. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
On second down, Wilson. Room here to run. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 12 yards is the pickup there, and they're going to have a third down.
The Seahawks on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 7.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A gain of 3, second down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now they try the right side here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Back to throw here. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
But how many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And the Jets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And that's the 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 2nd down, Turner. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, Was it the team's execution, or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game the way you're calling it. But if it's strategy, change up what you're doing and figure it out.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll go down at the 28. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first attempt, this from 45. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. This is taken at his 4. And he's going to be run over, hit hard, as he'll be marked down. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. So 2nd and 10 here. Now Wilson throwing again. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And all the way down to the 26.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Offensive mistake pushes him back. Now it's 2nd and a little bit longer. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
They go play action here on 1st down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 37. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation. But sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he whips that one incomplete there. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
The Jets on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Partner, when you're not able to run the ball successfully, it really messes everything up for an offense because no longer are you setting the tone and dictating the game. If you do want to throw the ball, play action's kind of gone out the window because they don't respect the run. And last but not least, you don't get to dictate it all when you want to throw the football. And that really hurts you as an offense.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the 4th quarter. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And you can't do it much better than that. This ball kicks out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defense coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
To throw is Wilson.
To throw on 2nd down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll take this one up to about the 6-yard line. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll be 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Here's John Ryan now as he's on to punt for Seattle. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. So the run gets them the 1st, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. They'll keep it on the ground. Turner, and he's going to take this one down to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, That looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44.
The Jets on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, Hackenberg. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Yeah, the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Wilson looking to throw on 2nd down. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Here's Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Here's Wilson to throw. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Wilson. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now Wilson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Darren Lee leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Hackenberg on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Second down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Here's Hackenberg. And that is incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Wilson now operating from the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
They have gone to the fourth quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. And the Giants have scored to extend their lead. If they can hold on to that lead to the end, it would up their win total to 7. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here.
Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively, no doubt they need a quick stop. Offensively here, maybe do you put it in the air on 2nd down, or do you go ahead and keep it on the ground, keep that clock moving?
A lot of people would ask that question, partner, because sometimes throwing the ball might actually be the path of least resistance. But in this case, it's a matter of trust. How much do you trust your quarterback? Because you throw the ball and it goes awry, you really don't look smart as a coach.
Yeah, and then you stop that clock. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Detroit!
On 2nd down now, Turner. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Turner, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. He's back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain at 21 yards. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And some room to roam now. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. Wilson trying to urge his guys to go faster and get set at the line. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. And on 2nd and 10 now. Back to throw. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll bring up 4th down.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. It may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
So down 6, and they know they need this one on 4th down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And now running right through it. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. And this is caught. Touchdown! And now they're an extra point away from winning this thing in the final seconds.
Well, that's the one they had to have. Put them in a position where they're tied up, but I got to get out of the way. We still got an extra point that's pretty crucial.
That's right, just one more element to complete the victory. Blair Walsh on to attempt the extra point. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And they have got the lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Hackenberg to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And he will return.